the Horror Writers Association panel, and I'm Sephora Jerome, and I'm the Ontario chapter head for now. So what I'm going to do is have all the panelists introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the panel.
Hi, I'm Steve. This is Stephen B. Pearl. I'm a member of the Horror Writers Association. I am a author with 2 paranormal titles to my credit, which is how I got into the Horror Writers Association, and a science fiction title as well. So,
hi, I'm Christine Whitlock. I'm an independent filmmaker. I've produced 4 horror movies: Shark Teeth, about a monster carp; Marina Monster, its sequel about a shark in Burlington Bay during around the Bay Race; and Vampire Dentist, 24-hour dental office, humans during the day and vampires at night. And my latest one, Days of the Iguanas, that I guerrilla shot in Cuba and green screened in Hamilton, about a voodoo cult with iguanas. And I'm in production for Cruise Ship Zombies. So come down to the A137 booth and check us all out.
Good afternoon. I'm Brad Middleton. I'm a newbie to writing myself. My first book came out in 2012. I'm a nonfiction writer, primarily. My focus is vampires, and my book that came out in 2012 was called Undead TV, and it's a comprehensive look at the history of vampire stories on television from 1949 to 2012. And my second book I'm working on right now is more of a general overview of Canadian horror entertainment, which I hope to have out next year.
Sorry. I'm Stephanie Bedwell-Grime. I write horror, science fiction, and paranormal romance. I've been a member of HWA for a long time, and this is my most recent horror publication called Going Up from Sandine Publishing, and it's about a haunted hillside elevator.
You can see horror, comedy, all sorts of things happen in horror. I'll give you a little brief history of the Horror Writers Association. It was started in the States with Joe Lansdale, Rob McCammon, and Dean Koontz. And it was originally called Howl. Then I forget what it stood for, something, that made Howl. And then they changed it to HWA, which is Horror Writers of America. And then around the time I joined, and it was way, way back when the internet was like DOS and green, and we had Genie, and we went through the phones and all that. So, but HWA was one of the first kind of groups that was actually online, whatever that was back then. And so we had a place on Genie, and that's where you could really connect once you were a member. And back then it was really golden because, as we know, well, I don't know how many of you know, but there was a life before internet, and there wasn't the world connection that we have now. So you could be on this forum thing with really famous writers, and it was really interesting, and you got the secret information like markets and things like that. But now we can all get through the internet if we know the right people, or you can see things on Facebook. There's entire groups dedicated to guidelines and stuff. But anyways, back in the day, so then, since so many of us were connecting, people like me were going, why do you call it Horror Writers of America? Because I live in Canada, and I'm a member, I paid, and all that. So they changed it to Horror Writers Association because it is world, it's around the world. I joined around 91 or 1990 or so. I've been in it forever. And basically, it's really changed a lot over the years. A lot of people know about the Horror Writers Association through our Stoker Awards, where every year we give awards to, we don't say the best in, but it's, prominent fiction and nonfiction, poetry, and so on. So this year, the Stoker Award Banquet is combined with the World Horror Convention in Portland, Oregon in the spring. Anyone can go to these things. So, like this year in the novel category, we have Christopher Rice, Joe Hill, Stephen King, Lisa Wharton, and I forget the fifth person on the ballot. But anyway, so we have all the Stoker stuff. I myself am not that concerned with all the Stoker things. Here in Ontario, I just am really trying to build people who really are interested in horror, professionals working in horror, so that we can have opportunities like we have here at Fan Expo, to have panels, to meet other people who are interested in horror and so on. Our current president, his name is Rocky Wood, and he lives in Australia. And we have just all sorts of wonderful volunteer efforts through the HWA. We have a mentorship program where an active member, which means professional member, can work with someone who's up and coming, and you can work together, and someone's in charge of setting those people up. We have our chapter meetings, we have conventions, there's library outreach programs, and so on. Our website is growing and growing, and as more, we have over 1,000 members now, so people keep adding their skills and information to our websites and all our databases. So whereas before, like I was saying, you get the secret market reports and stuff, now we have other opportunities that HWA provides because we have so many people who have been working so hard on these horror-related databases for years and years. So that's sort of a brief long-winded history. So now I just want each panelist to describe how they came to be in the HWA, what brought them to it, what they think it will do for them, what it does do for them, and so on. I'll just briefly say I've been in it forever. I joined as an active member because back in the day I was a journalist, and I did a lot of reviews and so on for like Toronto Star and video reviews, and I wrote video box covers and so on. So I've always been an active member, but there are different levels of membership. So, Stephen, he's our newest one.
My wife made me do it.
She did.
Actually, my wife and I encountered this person who was so much, the Horror Writers Association is wonderful, it's great, it's good, we'll catapult your career forward. And I said, all right, well, I tend to be of the belief that I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would have me. But I figured, all right, they've got some neat stuff going, and the public domain stuff that they had hinted at there being more useful stuff. So I joined up, and I suddenly found that, hey, they're getting a table. They're getting a table at a con, and I don't have to get one. So this is a good thing. And it allows me to promote myself as well as the Horror Writers Association. So in a truly mercenary move, I joined. On to you.
Well, now that I'm producing more horror movies, I wanted to be with like-minded people. And last year I went to the convention in New Orleans, and it was good because I needed some extra research material and footage for my latest movie, Days of the Iguanas. So that was a great way to have a business expense and write off all of the expenses. And it's great to meet monthly and find out what's happening with everybody and their successes and any new markets or information that they share. And then we're planning all kinds of interesting things in the future, readings and being at conferences, so there's strength in numbers.
This video has been brought to you by the works of Stephen B. Pearl, the finest in speculative fiction, available in fine bookstores everywhere.